this one. And this one I just received. I learned working in a flower shop for 10 years, from the age of 13 to 23, that simplicity is elegance. So if I have to define myself, I like to define myself as being as simple as possible. The yin has always been the flowers, because I love flowers. I love the decorative part of it. The yang has always been the martial arts since I've been doing since I was 8. And I'm 42 now. It's been something I've been doing for a very long time. I consider myself to be a full-time martial artist, never part-time. It's all I've been doing pretty much all my life. And I'm very proud to say that though people misuse it, I've always used it for creative purposes, never to harm anyone, but also, for defensive purposes, period. Help me be more confident and help me to attain goals. That's what I say martial arts done for me. As far as choreography, I've done a few things. I've done the Spider-Man tour. When the first Spider-Man movie came out, Marvel approached me. A subsidiary company of Marvel came out and hired me to do the choreography, all the martial arts scenes for the show that they put together that traveled the world.
Wow.
That was my first choreographic job, or job choreographing. And I must say it was a great turnout because it took me to Italy, France, Germany, Ecuador, all over the world, all over the United States. It was awesome. So that was one. And then I've done Third Watch, a TV show with Michael Beach. I choreographed a fight scene between him and an actor, Benny Nieves, a friend of mine who actually got me the job. And then recently, the Metal Gear. I'm pretty proud of, looking at it. I must say it's one of my biggest achievements. It's been fun to watch and train people in the art of MMA and ninjutsu and close quarter combat. So I'm very proud of that movie, that short. I hope to do more like that in the future. Metal Gear, we took something small and made it big. Again, that whole concept of simplicity, but being elegant in simplicity. And that's what I love. I love doing projects that, you give me nothing, and if you tell me do something with it, I'll definitely go with it. I'll make something happen to the best of my ability. That's what my Greek godfather taught me at the flower shop. Take little things and make it beautiful. Well, right now I'm working with Danny Kennedy. I'm helping him become Brandon Lee to the best of my ability. I'm doing a lot of research in Jeet Kune Do and Wing Chun and Eskrima. It's awesome. I'm fascinated. I've always been a fan of Bruce Lee. I think he's the overall the godfather to MMA. You have to give respect to where it's due. And I'm honored. I'm honored to be a part of this. I'm honored to again help my friends, Danny, particularly, get this going and see where we can go with it. I think it's going to be awesome. Well, look, obviously you can look at me and know that I'm not Asian, but I have a heart of an Asian. And I strongly believe that. I actually believe that I was possibly in an old life, if that actually exists. I strongly believe that I was probably a Japanese man, just based on how I fancy the Japanese culture and how I believe it saved my life for a very, very long time. But I've had the honor of being married to an awesome, authentic Korean woman who, with her gentleness and her love for me, has inspired me in many, many ways. And I'm honored to be her husband. I consider ourselves, both of us combined, her being Korean and me being Puerto Rican, I often describe us as being Koricans.
Nice.
And so, I've always been fascinated by the Asian culture. And doing things like this, as you can see, I'm a full-fledged martial artist. I've lived it, ate it, slept in it, the whole spiel. So it's an honor to do things like this, particularly for the Asian community.